Thank you, Chairman. Welcome, Mr. Connor.
Thank
Good to have you with us, and I appreciate very much the dedication and the skill that you've shown in your service. And you and I don't have any problems, but I have a big problem with the organization that you're going to come into. And I apologize for loading this onto you, but did you ever see the movie Groundhog Day?
Yes, sir.
So every morning, Bill Murray wakes up, and it's the same damn morning over and over and over again. So I've been on the Army Corps on this issue for years, back through the Obama administration, through the Trump administration, and we get some happy talk from people when they're at the table here, and then after that, complete blow-off, complete disinterest. And the two issues that concern me, one is quite a simple one, and that is getting answers and getting congressional mandates paid attention to. The Army Corps seems to believe that when we pass a law that instructs the Army Corps to do something, that is an optional, faint suggestion, maybe to be listened to if it's convenient and consistent with other internal bureaucratic goals of the Army Corps. I think that's got to stop. And Mr. Chairman, I think we've got to work out some kind of an operating protocol between this committee and the Army Corps so that the things that we instruct as elected representatives the Army Corps to do actually get done. So that's point A. Point B, as a coastal state senator, all right, our chairman, I'll just go down my side. Our chairman is a coastal state senator. Senator Cardin is a coastal state senator. I'm a coastal state senator. Senator Merkley's a coastal state senator. Senator Markey's a coastal state senator. Senator Padilla's a coastal state senator. And if you throw in the Great Lakes, you pick up Senator Stabenow and you pick up Senator Duckworth. So I have been hollering at the Army Corps for years about your flood and coastal damage reduction fund. Flood and coastal damage reduction fund. Do you know how much of the flood and coastal damage reduction fund actually goes to coastal?
A very small amount, from my understanding.
Very small amount. In a bad year, it's $120 for inland for every $1 for coastal. So less than 1% in a bad year. We're operating right now under a proposal where it would be 45 to 1. So, help me with the math here. 45 to 1 on a percentage basis, I think that translates to about 97+% to inland and 2% and some change to coastal. In your answer to Senator Carper, you talked about your awareness of all these coastal issues that we're facing. We're looking at 9 feet of sea level rise in Rhode Island by the end of the century. We're looking at having to redraw the maps of my state because of sea level rise. We're looking at dramatic changes in the fisheries, dramatic changes in storm risk. Our coasts are in dire distress. And the Army Corps blunders on just completely obtuse to that risk. Year after year after year, treating coastal, it's not even a stepchild. It's like you can root in the garbage and see if you can find something, but we're going to feed everything, all of our interest goes to inland. And I got to tell you, Mr. Connor, this is too many Groundhog Days, and I'm sorry that this is you at this moment, but I need some resolution of this with your organization. I cannot go forward with this enormous fund that is so important to coastal health, the Flood and Coastal Damage Reduction Fund, getting 1 or 2% of its funding for all of America's coasts, our Pacific coasts, our Gulf coasts, our Mid-Atlantic coasts, all of Florida, our northeastern coasts. All of them share 1 to 2% of this fund, while inland soaks up 97%, 98%. Is that not indefensible in this day and age, knowing the risks that our coasts face?
Well, Senator, I hear your concern. I've read your letter. it sounds like, the step one is the answers as to why. Why is the funding allocated in the way it is?
I actually don't care very much about why. I want finito. I want it stopped.
And
I want some balance. If why helps us get to balance, then I'd be interested in why. But I don't want a lot of why that gives us year after year after year after year of coasts getting essentially frozen out of the coastal damage reduction fund. I think that's a reasonable request. I'm sorry that this is my umpteenth Groundhog Day and that you happen to be here on this particular Groundhog morning, but I'm done with putting up with this, and I'm done with the non-responsiveness of the Army Corps to this flagrant misallocation of resources.
Senator, I will understand the why so that I can get to you to the how, which is how we make those changes that you're requesting. And I'm fully committed to the idea resiliency cuts across every program of the Corps of Engineers, and we've got to address it on all levels and all threats, as you've mentioned.
Thank you. And I know the chairman shares my concern because his state actually has shallower coasts than mine, and the same sea level rise that's going to raise 9 feet on my shores and do immense damage to my state is going to be even worse for Delaware, which not only is Chairman Carper's state, but there's also somebody you report to who comes from that state.
And it's not
Let's
Chris
get this
Coons.
done.